infused with a kaleidoscope of colors, eye-catching details, and a variety of textures and yarns woven into an intricate pattern that invites you to run your hand across the cloth. This is artistry at its finest, crafted by skilled, seasoned, intensely creative hands that seem to bring the tapestry to life. The beauty of it speaks to you, seeming to know your name. It envelops you, wrapping you in its comfort and warmth. So the rest of the kind of goals I want to talk about, again, that this life that we live is a tapestry. We are each a thread, and the tapestry bends and flexes and moves and gives. When there's a tear, it's no longer the new tapestry it was, but it still bears that and is repaired. And all that we seek is available in the tapestry, in our oneness with God, our oneness with each other, and our oneness in self. So to come back to what you were talking, asking the question, the essence of this is this has been one heck of a journey in terms of my getting to the place of being willing to write this book. I discovered during the course of writing it that God started talking to me about not trusting Him, and I didn't realize that was an issue. He did so in September 2012 and again twice in December. And it was that week of Christmas that I really realized that it was really an issue when He was talking about it. And I realized my mother had always taught me, she's like, just depend upon me, don't depend upon anybody else. And in kind of stripping things away, what I realized was that's what was going on. And her desire to have me be dependent upon her and not potentially be at risk by depending upon others. And she said, until you get to be grown, just depend upon me. What I didn't realize that she had left out the part about trusting God. Yeah, and it wasn't her intention, because when I went back and talked to her about it, and she said, no, but I meant God. I said, yeah, but you gotta remember when you're dealing with children, they're concrete. What you tell them is what they get. They don't necessarily do the interpretation. So this is, it's been a journey of me learning to trust God for everything. And some significant parts of it have even happened this year, even though I started writing the book. I was saying I'm trusting, I'm doing the best I can, but I can still see those areas where those places where the fear was going on and where I was scared and I don't know how to do this. And actually, it was earlier this year, I was talking to one of my dear friends that I grew up with. It's funny again how some people see things in you that you don't see. Back in 2011, he said, did you ever think you had a calling? I said, who, me? What made you say that? And he said, oh, I don't know. He said, you were just always on a known path. He said, you were always nice to people. He said, you wouldn't start a fight, but you sure would finish one. and then he also said, it wouldn't have surprised me if you had never married and had children. So it wasn't, and I was like, what is he talking about? So it wasn't until the following year when I'm writing the book that I realized, oh, this is what he's talking about. And I had no idea. So again, when I'm talking to him about things earlier this year, I said, Master, I call him Master Yoda, because he is so wise. He's not green. He's about 6 feet tall and dark, but I still call him Master Yoda. And I said, you I really still got a lot of fear about this. And he said, really, you? I said, yes, me. He said, did Moses have a tutorial? he said, did Noah get a screenwriter? I said, wait, but hold up. I said, Master Yoda, you have no idea how profound that is what you just said. Did Moses have a tutorial? I said, actually, he did. So all that we are called to do, because we are everything in our oneness with God, is already within us. Whatever your purpose is, all that you need is already in there. It's already been given to you. You just need to be willing to trust one for everything. And I wanted to read a little something to you that's that's connected to that. But again, as I reread some of the things that I've written in the conversations that I've had with God, again, that enlightening continues to deepen.
What page are you on?
I'm on page 48.
Okay.
It's called There Is Only Learning.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Grisha, you want to do me a favor?
Sure.
You want to read this with me?
Sure. You mean you take one page, one passage, and I take another?
Yeah.
Starting from what? Where will I lead?
You're coming right here, and then also.
I cannot choose my, okay.
So it's called There Is Only Learning. I was trying to get Reverend Reed to do this with me, y'all, but y'all heard this.
He didn't answer the call.
Okay. So this was the second conversation that I had with the Divine One. And again, I just started writing. And the next thing I know, I found myself joining for a conversation. Now, I'm curious, is anybody wondering what made me write these down? Anybody wondering?
Your conversations with God?
Yeah, anybody wondering why I wrote the conversations down? You guys already know?
Well, did you do it in a diary form first and then recopy?
No, actually I didn't. Again, the interesting thing is that there are no accidents. Everything that happens is in divine order. There are no accidents, no coincidences. So, many years earlier, I had read books by Neil Donald Walsh called Conversations with God.
Mm-hmm.
So when my conversation started happening, I immediately started writing them down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so again, this is chapter 19 called There Is Only Learning. There are no mistakes. There is only learning. How can that be, you ask? Because mistake is judgment. We are simply choosing how we learn. We will all get there. When we get there is a matter of our choosing.
I cannot choose your way. I can only choose my way. I can only choose my way. Where will it lead?
Where will it lead?
Oh.
Where I choose. I choose God. I choose to let go. No longer bound by that which held me for so long. No longer bound. I am free. Free to be me, free to be.
Call me. I know. Just
what? Just what? Just being, just me.
God said, just come be. Just come be with me.
Uncertain is the way, uncertain is the path.
No, not really, if you trust. Trust in what is. Trust in who is. You know who is. You know the way back. The way to, just trust in the way. You doubt, you question. I know. It is because you are afraid. It's okay. I can wait. I will be here. I am here. Just trust. Trust in the way. Trust in yourself. Trust in me. Yes. Reach out your hand. I will have it and you. Feels good, doesn't it?
Yes.
Still scared?
Yes.
Yes, I know. Those few steps, baby steps. But you are no baby. You've done this before. Yes, you have. It's okay, I promise. Yes, I promise. It's okay. Still scared?
Yes.
Okay, rest. Breathe. 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 See? Less afraid, less fear. Your heart still beats fast. Just breathe. Just breathe. Come to me. It's okay. Come to me. Yes, baby steps, remember? Yes, you remember. I see it in your smile. I see it in your eyes. Still scared? It's okay. Take your time. We have all of the time in the world. We have all of eternity. Feel better?
Yes.
Good. You don't have to get it right. You just have to get it. Get you. Get me. It's all right.
Thank you. Thank you for being the Father, my Father who art in heaven, my Father who loves me, who comforts me. Thank you. I get it. I feel it. Thank you. Thank you for love. Thank you for grace. Thank you for being me. Thank you for being everything.
Thank you, too, for being my child, my wondrous creation. Home always welcomes you, is always open and available to you. Just come. Come right in.
It's good to be home again. Still feels a little scary. You are so big.
But I am you.
Yes, I know, but I just don't know how I can be so big.
But you are my child, so big, so wondrous, so wonderful. I made you that way. How could it be otherwise?
I know, but that's what's so amazing. You're so big. I am so big. Life is so big. I'm just trying to take it all in, take you in. I want to get it all, to get you.
You already have me, have it all.
But that's what's so amazing, so awe. Just leaves me in awe. How can I get all of this, take it in?
Just relax, just be. It'll come and the fear will subside. I promise, because I am all there is, all that you know. Makes you smile and brings tears to your eyes.
Yes, it's overwhelming.
Yes, I know. Just breathe. Just be. Just be with me. Just go with me.
Okay, I'm breathing. Can you take my hand?
I can take your hand, and all of you. I hold all of you close to me all of the time. You are my child.
Blessed be that I am your child. I just want to be you.
You are me. You know this.
Yes, I know, but it's scary. I get scared. You're so big, and I love you.
Yes, I know, and I love you. No one loves you more. You know this.
Yes, I do. I'm trying to take it all in, all of you and me. It's all there. I can tell.
Of course it's all there. I'm all there in you. It couldn't be any other way. I made it that way. Made it for you.
Thank you, Father. Thank you for your magnificence and grace. Thank you.
You are welcome. It's yours. It has always been yours. It is yours at any time. It is yours all of the time. Heaven abounds in you. You are grace, you are mine, and I am yours. That's how I made it. That's how it is, now and forever. Don't you see?
Yes, I see. You helped me to see. I am beginning to see through your eyes. It is so magnificent, and I am just seeing a glimmer.
It is you. It is you that you see. It is all made to be you.
Me? What about everyone?
You and everyone, my divine child.
Thank you. You are indeed magnificent in everything. Such is the wonder of God. Thank you for opening my heart. Thank you for opening me. Thank you for being me. Thank you for being all that He is. Thank you for being heaven and earth in the children's eyes. Thank you for spreading your life across the planet and for being the planet.
It is me and could be no other way. Now go to sleep, my child. We will speak again. And yes, you're getting it. You are awakening. Love to you always.
Love to you too, my Father.
Well, I know that I can. Since I'm the father, my gosh, I think the room is going to explode. with blasphemy. Forgive me, Father. Wow.
Now, you know what, I have to tell you something. One of the fears that I had, frankly, that's taken me to grow into was that I knew that the message that I was giving, for some people, for a lot of people, frankly, is going to be controversial. And so it was having the courage to give the message as it was given to me. And I even had this conversation with a friend of mine recently, which was that very conversation. So there are things that is part of our purpose that we're asked to do that is maybe very different, unacceptable, not in alignment for many. That being said, speaking for myself, I had to do it anyway. I had to do it anyway. So, you know, one of the things that, I wanted to go back to this too, is Mark Nepo, who is a writer, he says that sacrifice means to give up no longer what works for you in order to stay close to that which is sacred. That's the meaning of sacrifice. And so it's important for us to take a look at what things no longer work for us. Henry Rollins, who's an actor, he says, let go of your earthly tether. Those things are the thoughts, beliefs, judgments, and our conceptualizations of who we are, who God is. The word, many times we've anthropomorphized God, which means we made him human, and we've assigned human characteristics to him or to her, to that divine universal source. And that is a barrier, just as people's judgments of us and our judgments of ourselves is also a barrier. So it's important to look at those things. It's important to take a look at, many people use the word faith, but again, because of the conversations God has been having with me, one talks to me about trust. So at this point in my life, that's where my focus is. Do I trust one for everything? Am I willing? Because he said to me, I can be your everything if you allow me to be. About 10 years ago, I was thinking about my family, and I was like, why are they more supportive and this, that, and the other? And one said to me, I can be your mother, father, sister, brother. I can be your everything. And I didn't trust that back then because of what my experience with people had been. But of course, since that time, I've come to discover that through my getting to know who the one is, because he said to me, I'm you and you are me. So I had to get to know who one is in that broad breadth, and then get to know who I am in the same degree. And it is, when I say the experience of knowing God, that has built my trust, that has built my willingness, that has helped to master and control my fear. Many of us are still operating like we are riding a bike with training wheels, or are in a building that has scaffolding. What I say to you, what you read, what you hear the pastors say, and talk to you about God and their interpretations of the Word and whatever else their experiences are, if we only stay at that level, that's like riding a bike forever with training wheels on it.
That's very interesting, Balin, because here it is on a Saturday, and I felt a little uncomfortable. I didn't know I was going to read that. I just felt, here I am being God, and it's not Sunday. Sundays I seem to be in that mode where yes, I'm all that God is. Today I felt uncomfortable because I guess I hadn't prepared myself for that. And it really felt, I guess maybe as a drama teacher, if I'd done an improvisation to know that I was pretending to be God, it would have been okay. But it really felt a little shaky to me that I didn't say my prayers this morning before I left. And so therefore, how can I be up there saying, you're my everything, and comforting you in something? So there isn't, for me, it's a practice every single day. And I got caught off guard. And it's an uncomfortable feeling. Because I think God's saying, oh yeah, you didn't say a prayer this morning before you got up, and here you are up there, being holy. So,
and I just want to use this as an opportunity. But you see what the separation is?
yes, and I brought it on myself.
Right. And, one of the other conversations that I had with God, and, we were talking about this again, about I am you and you're me. And he said, you're with me always, I'm with you always. And I said, is it that simple? He said, yeah. I said, oh, I forget. He said, no, you don't forget. He said, you disconnect. And when you disconnect, you struggle.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
when you're connected, you just flow. So again, it's about reintegration, it's about oneness, it's about wholeness at all times. It's about you're making a choice where either how you're living is an expression of your connection or disconnection from the one. That is in every moment. And I'm going to come back to the roadmap, but as Risha already said, one of the things we do in terms of the roadmap of how you get to oneness is it's about practice. But I want to really enforce 3 main points with you all and what I've already been doing, which is we are all one. We are all connected to everything, including we are the physical expressions of the one divine universal source and creator. All that he is all that we are. All that he has is all that we have. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Again, that next point, which I was just coming into again, was about your experience. People, we need to move past that place of Dr. Durr said, or Reverend Reed said, or the Bible says, or this says, and it needs to become, we're the messengers. We're the pointer to the moon, but we're not the moon. You understand what I mean when I say that?
Yes.
Okay. So you use that as a vehicle and a way to experience God, the one, for yourself. And then for you to express that in the world. Because as the one, we all expressing him every day. But how we express it depends upon what our consciousness is. If as Risha said, on Sunday she's expressing it because the consciousness is I am God. But on a different day, it's expressed as less than that, or less than her highest self, I should say, because she's perceiving that she is less than that on a different day, in a different moment.
That's true. Yeah.
Every day is Sunday.
Every
Should
day
be,
is the
yeah.
one day.
True. Yes.
Every day is the one day.
Yeah.
And you all are all the one. I like to say this. I like to say this is what I say too about us. Each and every one of you all are the chosen one. Did y'all know that?
Mm-hmm.
Each and every one of you all are the chosen one. Why? Because you all have all been given a purpose that you've been chosen to manifest here on the planet. And nobody can express it and do it the way you can. That's what makes you special. That's what makes you unique. But not separate. So each and every one of us are the chosen one. So, again, just so you all know, again, this has been a process for me. There are some things and Reverend Reed will say that we met at PLT. Some things that he's been working with me it's interesting. I like it because I tell you, I just delight in the magic of the universe is what I call it. So he and I meet, and he and I are talking to each other a lot for that week. I think that he's the teacher and I'm the student. And I just so you know, this book was published March of 2014. But there's still a lot of growing that I'm doing, a lot of transforming I'm doing. So I think he's the teacher and I'm the student. By the end of the week, I find out that he's the teacher and the student, and I'm the teacher and he's the student. So we were both teaching each other and learning from each other. But guess what? That means we're the one, right? We're all connected. It's all connected. So there's not a differentiation about roles and things like that, except for what we define and what limits we place. It's important to recognize that as the divine one, you are limitless. The only limits you have are the ones that you impose upon yourself. Again, even when somebody said to me, "You're never going to graduate from medical school," if I had chosen to believe that, that would have been my limitation. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't because I didn't own that. I didn't take that gorilla and put it on my back. I said, "No, you keep that. I want that." Mm-hmm. I got enough of my own self-imposed limits over here. So we have to continue. We have to continue to work through that, and as much as possible, try not to attach things. Part of our experience here is just to experience it for what it is. Shakespeare says, "A rose by any other name would still smell sweet." Mm-hmm. So when we attach a name to something, we actually put limits. The same thing, frankly, is with God in terms of how we relate to Him. By giving "I am" a name, we develop a picture in our minds of what and who we think God is, and that's how we relate to Him in that limited way. The same thing is true for ourselves, and the same thing is true for other people. People are going to interact with me as what they perceive an African American female is, and they may give me credit for having an MD degree, but they're also going to then interact with me based on the color of my complexion, that I'm light skinned, the fact that I have locks. All those judgments and meanings that they attach to my appearance and who they think that I am. So do your best not to name things and not to judge things. That creates limits. It creates barriers. It creates obstacles. And so part of what I was learning with him was and I said this to him openly. I said, I'm still having to work on this trust, trusting the one for everything. Also issues of attachment. And one of those ways that was showing up for me was actually in the issue around money. And Reverend Reed said something to me that for me, frankly, was like revolutionary. I was so excited. I'm so excited.
Let's hear it.
I'm going to share this with you guys. Somebody tell me how you would describe this.
Have a full.
Okay. So, those who answered full, you are absolutely correct. Do you know why it's full? Why? Absolutely. Because part of it has water in it, and the other part is air. What's in the air? Energy. That's right. So our perceptions that chair is solid or that we're solid, it's just because those particles, that energy, is moving slower. And because everything is made of energy, because of our thoughts and our beliefs and our emotions, which are simply energy in motion, we are shaping energy all the time. So we're creating all the time because we are powerful creative beings. So what you think is missing, lack or limitation, is only because that's what you're shaping. It's because it's what you believe about yourself and your abilities and what you need to have. And frankly, I like this saying from Neil Donald Walsh. He says, masters need nothing to be happy. And he says, most people believe in a God, but most people believe in God, they just don't believe in a God who believes in them. You like that, don't you?
Say it again. Most people believe
He
it.
said, most people believe in God, they just don't believe in a God who believes in them. So again, as powerful creators, y'all are creating all the time. Y'all are shaping energy all the time because God is everywhere present. He is all things just as, so we have the ability to be everywhere present. There's nothing that we need outside of ourselves. That's what that's saying when he said, when Neil Donald Walsh said, masters need nothing to be happy. It's because all the energy that is outside of us is already within us. There's nothing outside of you that you need that you don't already have.
Mm-hmm. We know that, yeah.
That you're shaping all of the time. So if there's something that's missing, or something that you don't want, one of my dear friends and master teachers, his name is Dr. General Hood, he's the 17th child of 17. And his mother, Josephine, who I have a quote that opens up one of the chapters, she says, quit feeding that weed. Which means, like anything that's growing living, you have to feed it, you have to water it, you have to give it sunlight. So if there's something in your life that you don't want, quit feeding the weed. Quit giving it attention.
Mm-hmm.
Quit talking about it.
Yeah, good, yeah.
Quit worrying about it. Unfortunately, there's a quote that I heard by someone who was in the Army, and I think his name is maybe Mason, but I'm not sure. But I saw him on something about New Earth from a show that Oprah did a few years ago. He said, he was over in Iraq, he said, the thing I discovered about worrying, he said, is at the end of my worry, I'm not going to get a gift certificate. It's so I just love that. Because it so puts it into perspective. You're not going to get a gift certificate, you're not going to get a reward, but you're going to get a field of weeds, or you're going to get one huge weed. That's what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's whatever it is you don't want, don't feed the weed. Focus on and give your attention to what it is you want in your life, because you're always shaping energy. Intention, meaning what you want to create, transforms. Attention gives energy. Do you all understand that? It took me many years to understand, so I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you. Think of it as like you're building a house. The intention is I want to build a house. How that transforms is you take raw materials, wood, PVC, copper, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
raw materials, and it becomes a house. But how does it become a house? By focusing your attention on it to bring it into life. That's how intention transforms and attention energizes.